Alrighty everyone, this is the Regular Guy channel. This is going to be the first video that kind of gives a basic and beginning understanding of how to read a stock, its price, its value, the things that I look for, and any pro tips that might help somebody who doesn't know a thing about stocks, or how they work. Okay, so what I will say is I'll kind of explain how stocks work. So stocks are a representation of a company, a publicly owned company that anybody can buy or sell. Shares are a little piece of the pie. The stock is technically the pie. So if I wanted to go buy a share of, right now my favorite example is CVS, it's going to cost me $46.60. So I'll kind of show you guys. Might not look the best, but this is going to be kind of like how I look to see what the price of a single stock is, or a share. And this will show you the high, the low, the open for the day. It'll also show you the market cap, the PE ratio, and the dividend yield. And I just, as you can see, it's right on Google. I just typed in CVS stock, and I get all that information. So, the open. So anytime you want to find any price of a company, you just type in, let's say you want to do Dunkin' Donuts stock, or Target stock, or McDonald's stock, or Boeing stock, or Apple stock, or whatever you want to do. Not every single company is public, but generally most of the bigger retailers and companies that you shop at and things that you buy, generally you'll be able to find a company that sells what you're looking for, or you'll be able to find something that leads you to be able to invest in whatever you're looking for. So I'll go back to the open. So the open means that's what price it would cost per share at the open of that day on the stock market. So every day, I live in Arizona here, so it's all Eastern time, meaning that the time in the East, and like especially the New York area, is 2 hours ahead. So when it is 7:30 here in Arizona in the morning, it is 9:30 in New York. So at 9:30 in New York, that's when it opens up, which is 7:30 here. So depending on where you live, it'll open up kind of slightly at a different time. But yeah, so going back to the stock thing, the high is the highest price that the share of that company hit that day. The low is the lowest price in the day. And what's cool about it is it goes to the exact penny. The market cap is the amount of money that people all over the world, at least the US, if not all over the world, have invested into that company at that specific time. So right now I'm looking at CVS, for example. The market cap is 58.64 B. So that means $58.64 billion is invested in CVS stock. Right under that, the PE ratio stands for the price to the earnings. So price of the share divided by how much they earned in net profit margin in the last 12 months. So it kind of gives you an idea of how expensive that share is based on the profit it's been making. Now, the PE ratio, a lot of people use. Warren Buffett loves the PE ratio. I do as well. However, I do not recommend you just look at the PE ratio and then be like, oh, I'm good to go. All you need to do is look at the PE ratio, because that PE ratio changes. And I'll give you a perfect example about CVS specifically. So 2 or 3 months ago, CVS crashed, and the PE ratio is under 10. And Warren Buffett advises buying companies that are strong, that have a moat around it, and there's many other parameters that he looks for, but one of them being the PE ratio, hoping to be under 10. So, but at the time it was like 8 or 9 for the PE ratio, and then CVS released their earnings shortly there afterwards, and it jumped the PE ratio up to, right now that it's at 4660, 11.84. And the PE ratio, when it was at like 52 or 53 a share, before they released that earnings, was at like 8 or 9. So the PE ratio jumped up just because of what they just announced for their earnings. So you never know what's coming next, and you never know the future, which is why you cannot just you cannot invest your money based on just one specific, what would I call it, indicator. That's the correct term. Okay, so right under that is the dividend yield, and that is the percentage of the return that investors earned in the last year. So right now I'm reading 5.71%, and this is dated for December 16th on a Monday, 2024, 8 days and 5 hours away from Christmas. So all of these numbers change every single day. So that dividend yield, generally Warren Buffett likes companies under 4%. If a company's paying over 4, there can be a major concern to look out for. So that's definitely something that I watch out for. And so there are companies that pay 7, 8, 9, 10%. There are companies that don't pay anything. There are companies that pay 1 or 2%. But yeah, so CVS right now is paying at 5.71. The reason why I like to bring up CVS at the moment is because, and this is a reminder that none of this is financial advice. None of this is something that you should buy just because I recommended a specific company or a stock. I am not a financial advisor, so do your own research. But right now, as I look this up, this is an article that says that CVS just hit a 12-year low on the stock market. So for me, when I'm looking for companies to invest in, I look at the PE ratio, I look at the market cap, I look at what they have in their balance sheet. So I use the accounting classes that I took at the U of A to go do some digging and due diligence to see how much that company's worth. And then I use what the investors today are expecting the future to be, and if it's a good company that has a lot of employees working for them, and it's needed in the economy, and it checks off all my boxes, then I generally will have some interest in that company. So today I saw it drop even more, and it's been tumbling. And I know that CVS has 260,000 employees working for them. So because I know how many employees they have, and I know that their stock hit the lowest price it's been in 12 years straight, for me, I like to buy low and sell high, just like Warren Buffett does. So that is why I purchased 20 shares today. And I already had, I think, 24, 25, or 26. So today, to this date, I now have the most amount of shares that I've ever had in my life before for CVS specifically. The last time that I purchased a crazy amount of shares was Citigroup, and I put in 4,000 in 2022 back in July, and I made 2,300 as a return within 2 years. The percentages that I made each year was about 24.4%. The S&P 500 was earning people about 21. So with my purchase, I beat out the S&P by 3% each year, which isn't anything insane to talk about. But if you can continue to do that over and over and over and over and over again, then slowly the returns will be more than the average person. So right now, like I said, that is not me recommending it. That is just me explaining a little bit of how my thought process goes when I'm looking at buying or selling something. You never know what the future's like, and I'm willing to take a risk, and there's no reward if there's no risk. So anyhow, that is kind of just like a little introduction of an explanation of the basics. So another thing I like to look at is the description of what the company does, and how you find that is when you type in like that specific stock that you're looking at. Generally on Google, you've got a couple different tabs that you can click on, and one of them is financials. So I went from like overview to compare to financials, and when I was reading this description of CVS, I found out that right here, it's part of a Wikipedia description, but I see the company is the world's second largest healthcare company behind United Health Group. So what I like about United Health Group is they've got 440,000 employees. So, but right now I'm looking at like an underdog, and all of the healthcare stocks have been tumbling the last couple days. So I picked up a little bit of Cigna a few days ago, but there is something that the Trump administration is planning on changing once he takes office. And he has been claiming that CVS, United Health, Cigna, and a lot of these other Walgreens, a lot of these other like drug like middlemen are screwing a lot of people over, and they plan on stopping a lot of the stuff that's going on. There's a lot of changes as well going on with the insurance companies and what they're able to cover and not cover, and I need to do a lot more research on what exactly is going on, but that is one reason why CVS is struggling right now. So for me, I'm taking advantage of the opportunity that is here, and yeah, I guess that's kind of a wrap for this video, but I will be making a lot more, and this is just step one. I'm going to go into other things that I look at, and then eventually I will have a paid subscription for my exact trades and a lot more in-depth explanation of the 10,000 hours of research that I've done in the last 5 years for everyone. So, all right, you guys have a nice day, and like I said, Christmas is in 8 days, so good luck. Stay warm.